Hey,
Got it.
yep,
Finally.
finally. Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry about that. That was a long technical hiccup.
Yeah, I was trying to debug why the video was not working on your end. I think it has something to do with the web client. So I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm pretty sure it's something to do with my web client. What OS are you on?
I'm on Windows.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Like
Uh,
things like Zoom and stuff
huh.
definitely work better on Windows.
Oh,
Video,
which one are you on?
I'm on Ubuntu. I think
Oh
it's
my God.
so. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Ubuntu, like Linux is great for some things, but then the new stuff usually lags behind. I don't know if you're.
Huh. Okay, so that was the reason you were not willing to download the desktop client for
No, see, the
Zoom.
reason why I don't want to download the desktop
Huh.
client is I don't want some third-party company that I don't trust to install stuff on my computer,
Oh, huh.
right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, but at this point, I'm like, I have Chrome on my machine. So what could be worse than that? I already have Google Chrome. So,
I trust Chrome.
okay,
I trust Chrome. What's
you
wrong with
trust
Chrome?
Chrome.
Yeah, what's
I
wrong
don't
with Chrome?
know. I don't know. Google knows too much.
Yeah, but see, like, I mean, like they
Huh.
know a lot because it's kind of their
Yeah.
business model to know a lot. But
Yeah.
I feel like there's definitely some creepy stuff in Chrome, right? The stuff like it used to be that it used to be really easy to accidentally enable sync, so it syncs
Yeah.
your web history and everything.
Hmm.
But like people do that anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever used any Apple products, like more than one at a time?
No, I have used an iPhone, but I did not have any other Apple devices. So it did not, gel well with my Android and
Yes.
Windows
Yeah.
ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I only have an iPhone, so I never used any other devices.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I've got a friend who has an iPhone and
Yeah.
a Mac, and
Hmm.
it's just crazy. So for example, like if you copy something, like copy and
Hmm.
paste, if you copy something on your phone, it
Hmm.
you can paste it on your MacBook.
Yeah, but why would I ever need to do that? I mean, uh, I never ever need to do copy paste something from my phone to my laptop. I don't know. I mean, it might be a useful feature, but the way my things are set up right now, I don't think it is necessary. So okay, so there are times when I want to copy paste something, and what I do is I take that text and I send it to a friend, and I tell him
Yeah.
to ignore it, and then I get it on my get it on my phone. My friend says he feels very used when I do that.
Yeah, I used to do that as well. I used to do
Yeah.
that. But then like Facebook Messenger, for example, you can send stuff to yourself now. Did
Oh
you know
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh no, I had no idea. Yeah.
So I thought,
I'm not on Facebook actually. I'm not on Facebook.
no.
I mean, no, I was on Facebook before, but there was a time 2 years ago when I just logged out of everything, and
Yeah,
then I never felt the need to go back to Facebook because once you have Instagram, you don't need Facebook. And,
yeah. How
yeah,
old
and
are
all of
you?
my friends, I'm 20, so
Wow. Okay.
no one is using Facebook.
No
A
one's,
reality check:
yeah,
no
yeah,
one's using Facebook. So
exactly. No one your age is using Facebook. You know
yeah, no
who
one
you
my
know
age.
you know who is using Facebook?
Old people.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and so you have LinkedIn for business stuff and job related job
Yeah,
thingies, then you have Instagram for social network thingies, and that's all you need most of the times. And I don't think any people anyone I know are hardcore Snapchat users. They use Snapchat because they are invested in the ecosystem, but at this point
yeah,
I don't think they care about Snapchat as well. So it is just
yeah.
Instagram and I guess LinkedIn to some extent.
So
Maybe I'm
none
in a
of
bubble.
so none of your friends are using Snapchat.
Uh, a very small minority of my
Yeah,
friends are using Snapchat.
very very few of my friends are using Snapchat.
Huh,
Um,
but you are older. You are way older, right? So you might be outside their bracket, the
well,
Snapchat user.
Let's see. Snapchat. I think Snapchat was getting big when I was, I don't know, like when I was in high school, maybe. So, and when you're in high school, you're you're very sensitive about peer pressure and acceptance
Yeah.
in a group and
Yeah.
so on.
Yeah.
So, I feel like that's the part where, like, that's the part of your life where you're most likely to come and like try to get on new fads.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think a lot of my friends, a lot of people my age were using Snapchat at the time. I just wasn't talking to that many people back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
none of the people who are like slightly older than me, like people that I do business with now, I deal with older people more now. And obviously, none of them are using Snapchat.
Yeah. None of them are using Snapchat.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So this is like an interesting observation. What might have happened is when you were in high school, Snapchat was big.
yeah,
Then when I was not in high school, so I guess we my generation, I'm calling it my generation, but I guess we missed the train for Snapchat.
yeah.
And when we were in high school, it was not cool enough to be on Snapchat.
Right.
Okay, so it was still cool to be on Snapchat, but it was on a downward trend. It was not something which was, yeah, it
So
was
it
not an
was
upward trend.
it was like on a downward trend. So it was like just past it.
I think so. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm not sure how reliable my, you know, re- recountance, memory. What is the word I'm looking for?
recall.
Recall
Yeah,
is. Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, maybe.
Oh, okay. So was Instagram getting big at the time?
Oh yeah, it is still so now it is a part and parcel of life. It is
Yeah.
not big, it is not small, it is just there and you use it. But
Right.
it was certainly getting bigger when I was in my 10th grade. So
Right.
that was back in
So
2015,
how old were you?
15, 14,
15.
15,
Okay.
16, somewhere around there. Yeah.
So I must have been 18.
Huh.
So you're 15. I was 18. You're 20. I'm 23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 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 you might have been on Instagram as well, right? So that might
I
have.
yeah. I actually never used it.
Oh, you have never been on Instagram.
Never had an account. Never posted anything. Uh, don't even open links when people send me them.
Why not? Why not?
No,
Why
no,
do you hate Instagram?
I do open links. I just never had
Okay.
a need for an account. I guess because
Huh.
I was on Twitter so much, because Twitter is like Twitter is like where all the cool people used to hang out.
Oh. Huh. So the advantage of Instagram is ki you can talk to anyone which you know, anyone who you know. So it does
Yeah,
not need to be someone
Twitter
you.
the same,
Yeah.
Twitter the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like they're
No,
very
no,
similar.
sorry. Okay, let me clarify it. You can on Instagram, you can talk to people who you know, but you don't talk with,
Like
and
how?
they are open to talking to you because it's Instagram, and you can just send them a reaction on their stories, and the
Yeah.
dialogue is open then.
Oh,
Okay, to explain it further, it is not totally weird when someone from your class sends you uh, a reaction to your Instagram story. It is not totally weird. Or you
yeah.
can say hi to someone you don't talk to or just are acquainted with. So
Right.
and summarizing, I think Instagram allows you to um, tighten the connections you already have or closely knit your existing social circle, if that's the correct term.
So like you see someone, let's say someone is at your school but in a different class and you don't talk to them,
Yeah.
something like that. And
Yes,
then
exactly.
on Instagram you can just reply to their stories and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Or if you talk to my logic is ki if you talk to someone about once or twice, then and if they follow you back on Instagram, then you can go and talk to them, or slide into their DMs. That is the official term,
Yeah,
sliding into their DMs.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
People say that.
Yeah.
You're like
Yeah.
people, like students say that, but like people
Yeah.
older than me don't ever
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah. Yeah. You should not say that.
Yeah, it,
Yep.
it almost has like a sexual undertone to it.
It is, and it has. It does. Yep.
Yeah, I use that term jokingly. Like,
Undertone or sliding.
no, no,
Which
no.
one?
Well, yeah, sliding into the DMs.
Oh.
So like I
Yep.
say, sometimes I say like, the CEO of ABC.
Huh.
I slide it into his DMs. Yeah. But like
Oh.
people should get used to it. It's, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Huh. I don't think too much of it. It's okay.
a lot more business people are on Instagram now. So yeah, I mean, haven't you noticed?
So my rule for Instagram is you don't follow any influencers and you don't follow
Mm.
any pages, because
Oh,
those are,
right,
according to me, waste of time. I mean, my goal for using Instagram is to talk with my friends or
yeah,
people who I know, and I don't
right,
care about any influencers because I just
right,
don't.
yes, okay. So you don't
But
follow any.
Okay, and to clarify things further, with Twitter, it is exactly opposite. I don't care about
Oh,
my
right,
friends on
yes,
Twitter. I care about the AI people, the companies, and um, the blogs, and I care about those on Twitter. And on
right.
my Instagram, it is just personal people who I actually know. Yep.
Is it because of the stories? Like Twitter doesn't have stories, Instagram does. Okay.
I think it is mainly because of the stories, because I tend to post some not safe for work stuff. I
Ah,
mean, it is just okay. So one of the stories was me climbing inside a cardboard igloo. So I was doing that, and that was my story. So
that's
I'm
that's
like,
totally safe for work. That's totally safe for work. As long
yeah, but
as
it
you
is
put
frowned
like
upon at work. I think it is
no,
frowned upon at work.
no, no,
No,
no.
no.
Just
Okay,
put your
okay.
put your company logo on it, and
Underneath it, yeah,
yeah,
watermark it. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, exactly, and it's
yeah.
done. Or like make a video of I don't know, like make a fucking fort.
You can't swear. You can't swear.
We're gonna
You
cut.
can't swear.
We're gonna cut
Yep.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
out.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Make a like make a
Hmm.
fort,
Hmm.
and like then
Fort, huh?
yeah, like a
Yeah.
cardboard like a cardboard castle, make something like
Okay.
that, and
Huh?
then
And?
like put smart cow devices outside of it, so it's gonna like
Huh?
detect intruders and stuff like that. Do it. I'm serious, like you know
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe that is technically your private
yeah,
property, and you have cameras on it. Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe. Yep.
What I
Yeah.
think is gonna get big? uh AI security.
Oh yeah. We are in that business.
Yeah,
Yep.
you are in
Yep.
that business.
Yeah. We kind of are. I mean, we are in the AI business. We are
Yeah,
in the security and surveillance, and that is what we are doing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So.
no, but I
Hmm.
mean like end to end. Do you do any like end to end stuff?
So can you
Yeah,
explain what end to end
yeah,
is?
yeah, yeah. So like imagine I buy Smart Cow Home Security version 3 Extra
Hmm,
XL,
hmm,
and
hmm,
that's gonna it comes in a box, and it's like two
hmm,
cameras, a central
hmm,
unit,
hmm,
and you put the camera there, you put the camera there, you
hmm,
put like a sensor there, and then
hmm.
you get a login to the cloud app, right? So you get it.
Exactly, that
Yes.
is what you get. So that is our vision. So what you get is, in the box you get our Jetson powered, Nvidia Jetson powered devices, and then you connect your existing CCTV cameras to it
Yeah.
through our RTSP, that is the um, protocol. So you connect our devices, your cameras, to our existing
Yeah.
systems, and then if you are running a number plate recognition model, then you will
Uh-huh.
be able to note down all of the number plates which park in your driveway or pass through your road, your
Yeah.
internal road. Or if you are running a social distancing model
Yeah.
and you are a store, then you could just have our device, and you can connect it to some kind of API. So when people in the store stand too close to each other, you can have a siren blink.
Yeah.
This. So Yeah, you can totally do that. And the best part about our devices is ki you see these demos on LinkedIn, but the
Yeah,
difference or the um, advantage of smart cow is ki it is production ready. I mean, the demos on LinkedIn, they are running on let's say 5 fps or
yeah,
10 fps, but right now we are doing about buttery smooth object detection for multiple cameras
yeah.
at the edge. And it is I'm not sure about the pricing
What
yet,
do you
but
mean? What do you mean when you say by on the edge?
oh, okay, so on the edge means on the device itself. We are not sending the video to a
No,
server. We are not doing the processing in the cloud. We are doing all of
no,
the. No, we are not. So
really.
yeah, exactly. That is what SmartCov is all about. So we do everything on the device itself. You don't need an internet connection to run the object detection models. So that is where we excel.
So, yeah, but why is it because of privacy? Like, why would you not want to send data to the cloud? Privacy.
Good
Yeah.
question. Huh. So there are like, so privacy is a big one. And the second one is the network costs. So if you are, let's
Right.
say, on a remote location, in a remote
Uh-huh.
location, and you don't have an internet connection, or you are somewhere like in India where
Yeah.
we have internet connections, but it might be too expensive to stream
Right.
all
Yeah.
of the
Okay.
8 video streams through a a to a
Yeah.
central
Yeah.
server. And at that point you might need a okay, so I'll explain it a little bit on the architecture about how everything works. So let's say you have a office,
How
and
many
in your
people?
office
How many? Sorry, Johan, how many people are working on this?
2025.
25. That's
Yep.
I mean that's a small team. You know.
Yeah, it is an extremely small team. It is an extremely small team, and but we are doing great work. So
Yeah.
everyone
That,
is good
that's what I'm
at
saying.
their yeah, and everyone is good at their specific thing which they do,
Yeah.
and they take complete ownership of it. So we are able to do things quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, explaining the example about the office. So let's say ki you have an office with 6 cameras. You have 2 entrances, 2 exits, and um, 2 driveways. So you have these 6 cameras, and you want to record the number plates or license plates of all the vehicles in your campus.
Uh huh.
Then a traditional solution would have you um, send all of those videos to the cloud, and the
Yeah.
processing might be done there. Or
Yes.
you would have to buy number plate recognition or license plate recognition cameras, and each of those cameras might range from anywhere starting from about $1,000 to
Hmm.
upwards of $5,000 for a single camera.
Yeah.
But with smart cow you can have that office, and you can connect your existing cameras to smart cow nvidia powered jetson device, which is like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
small set top box. Have you heard about a set top box
No. No.
tvs?
No.
Okay, so it will be like a small cpu. The device will be this big,
Uh
or
huh.
let's say this big, and it will sit in your server room or in your surveillance room, and it will accept
Yeah.
all of the video streams on it, and it will do the processing on that device.
Right.
That is the
Yes.
edge device. And then we will give you access to a web interface, and you will visit the local ip of our device on
Yeah.
your network.
Right.
So you
Yes.
have to connect our jetson device on your network, and then you connect the cameras on the same network, and when you visit our device
Yeah.
it is like visiting a router. So there is a login page, you log into
Yeah.
it, and then you are able to see all of the cars which
So the
yeah.
login page is just a server running somewhere in your network.
Yes, exactly.
So it doesn't
Uh,
go to the internet. It doesn't go
no,
to
it doesn't. I mean, we
right.
can have it store all of the data on any cloud you want. We have
Sure.
API integrations. So if you want it to send the
Mm,
data somewhere, it can send it somewhere. But if you don't want it to, it won't.
yeah. That's. I mean, I've got some questions. See,
Yeah,
like honestly, I don't want to talk too
yeah,
much about it.
yeah,
Because I feel like because this is gonna go public, I just don't want people to
yeah.
steal your ideas.
Oh no, okay, no. See, everything I'm telling you right now is what we are telling everyone in our
Yeah.
marketing material.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, what I'm saying is like if there's gonna be an interesting conversation between you and me, some new
Yeah.
stuff is gonna come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we are gonna have some ideas, and I just don't wanna, you
Yeah.
know, like I don't want the ideas to get out and like someone to steal them.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. So we can edit this part out. We can start whenever we want. Or this is the
Right.
first
Yeah. Yeah.
episode, right? So
Right.
this is
Yeah.
the first episode, so we can do whatever we want. And I am pretty free today. If you are as well, then we can
Yeah.
go as long as you want. So okay. So summarizing, we can just talk freely about it, and we can bring Ravi on board if he wants to talk about it, and I'm pretty sure he will want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I was gonna suggest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of getting it from me, you should get it from our CEO. He does it way better.
So Ravi is the CEO.
Yeah, he is.
Right. Okay. And he's the founder as well.
Yes, he is. He started the company in Singapore with, I think, two or three co-founders. I'm not
Mm.
totally clear about that, but he started it there, and then he moved to Malta, and I
Wow.
think they pivoted. Okay, yeah. Why, mom? Huh.
No. 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 No.
Okay.
Why? Wow. I,
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 That is really interesting. And the answer to the question why did he move to Malta? I asked that to him last year, and he was
yeah.
like, "Ki our investor had a data center in Malta, so my
Right.
investor said, ki you should just move to Malta,' and
Yeah.
so he just up and moved to Malta."
Yeah.
That is what he said. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
Like, I'm just tired of these Zoom calls. Can you come over here and just live here? Basically.
Yeah, so something like that. And when me and Ravi started back in 2018, um, that the team was pretty small, so we did not have our India office,
Yeah.
and we opened an office in India about a year ago, or a little more than a little more than that. And yeah, and since then we have been going pretty strong, and Nvidia released an open source framework for doing inference at the edge, so that
They
is
have.
running deep. Yeah, so that is running deep learning models at the edge on the
Uh-huh.
devices. So our team, the smart cow team, is probably the one of the leading teams. I mean, Ravi does a lot of our deep stream work, and he has a team helping him. But so a small an instance of what Ravi did was one day. So he was explaining to me why a piece of software runs smoothly, or why the frame rates are so high, and
Yeah.
he was able to point to a specific chip on the motherboard and say, "Ki, this is the chip which
Yeah.
is doing the audio and video encoding, and we are using
Yeah.
that through this bit of code, and that is why it is running smoothly."
Yeah.
So
That's really interesting. You need to have dedicated hardware to audio and video processing these days. And
uh, mm,
I mean, you don't have to. What I mean is, I see, like, at Coaching, we see a lot of companies, they will buy some hardware to do AI, but they will not have a unit for video processing. And
mm.
then they're like, why is it only doing 2 frames a second? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know
You
what I
you
mean?
can't you can't do deep learning at the edge on a CPU. You need to use a GPU. You need to have a GPU, and uh,
Yes.
Nvidia is the GPU company. There
Yeah.
are alternatives, but when you think GPUs, it is a
Yeah.
green Nvidia car, right? So
Yeah. That's also so interesting. NVIDIA, that used to be a gaming company. Like, that used to be a video, like, GPU.
hmm,
The only people who talked about GPUs were gamers
yeah,
back then, right?
until 10 years ago, right? And
Yeah.
then there were the Bitcoin people who started talking about
Yeah,
GPUs.
that was also a thing. Yeah, but
Yeah,
okay, so 10 years ago, I was 13, and
yeah,
like, if you bought like, you might you might go to your friends and say, guys, I'm buying an NVIDIA GPU, right? So they're gonna think you want to play like Crisis
game.
3 or
Yeah.
whatever the
Yeah.
latest game was. But now people are buying them to like do AI and stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is ki you don't really need to. You can just use
No?
AWS or GCP, and you can
Right,
do
yes,
everything
right.
everything you want to.
So why are
So
people buying GPUs then?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, see, the same reason people are buying fast computers, right? It is easier to do it on your own machine
Is
rather
it?
than SSHing into the cloud. Um,
Well,
I mean, for
you have to
yeah,
mess around with cables and stuff,
huh?
right? Like
No,
you,
okay, so
well, you have to buy a GPU. Someone has to deliver it to it. You
but
know?
that is the best part. That is the best part. Having it in your house and having it running inside a system, you can have those
Yeah,
small lights and they change colors. People like that. I'm not
yeah.
too big on it.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. It's not about convenience. It's about look at those lights. You know.
yeah, yeah,
But I love
yeah.
it. I love lights. You know, when it gets
Uh,
difficult, when you move a lot, like if you move houses a lot, like you don't want like taking all that hard work. Like I move every 3 months. Taking
oh,
all, yeah, it's because I'm trying different places in the UK.
why is that? Now, how
I don't
do you
know.
manage to work? How do you manage your? Do you remote?
All remote. Everything's remote. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
nice,
yeah. I'm
nice.
literally doing this from my bedroom.
Oh, great. Me too.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I see the guitar in
And the bed.
behind you.
Yep.
Yeah. Um, but what was I gonna say? Uh, well, the only limit is that I kind of have to be in the UK because of the labor law,
Oh,
right?
huh.
So
Huh.
I mean, imagine you have a company, right? And you
Hmm,
want to
hmm,
hire some people. So let's say I hire you. You know,
hmm,
now I have to uh, abide with the laws of India,
hmm,
right?
hmm.
Because you're an
Yep.
employee in India.
Hmm,
So whereas you can get some people like the easiest way, like if you want to hire someone from abroad, is to do it just on a contract. So
contract
that
basis.
yeah, yeah. So let's say you have your own company and you work with me. You know, for all practical purposes, you could be an
Hmm,
employee,
yep.
right? You're getting all the holidays and everything, but officially, you know, you're not an employee. You're just
Yeah,
a
yeah, exactly.
contractor. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
which
that is
is
the easiest.
yeah.
But then you don't get the benefits, right? Health insurance and whatnot.
Um,
Do you get it?
you you could structure the contract so that you do. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like if I wanted to hire you and you would be like, okay, but I really, really like my health
Hmm,
insurance and my,
hmm.
I don't know what else you get. We don't really get health insurance here. We
Yeah.
do. We like some people
I
do
mean,
get. Yeah,
you can just pay me the money, right? You can increase my salary
yeah,
about $200, and that
yeah.
may be the health insurance.
Yes, that could,
Yeah.
if that's something you want. Some people
Yeah.
don't want that
Yeah. Yeah.
because it puts too much responsibility on them. Like
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
have to manage your finances and everything is always messed up. Like if you wanna, right? I mean that's always
Yeah.
the case. Like you
Yeah.
you call and you set up your insurance, but
Yeah.
you have to like let's say it's home insurance, for example.
Yeah.
You have
Mm,
to remember to move it every time you move
mm,
house and
mm.
everything. So it's another responsibility. Some people
Huh.
don't
Yeah.
want that, right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So some people are gonna take the money.
Yeah. I
Some
mean, I
people,
would rather take the money. I would rather take the money without the benefits. I don't
yeah,
care about the benefits. I just said
yeah,
ki someone might, but I don't. I think you can
yeah.
just hear the background noise in my mic.
Uh, Maybe like once in 10 minutes.
Huh. Okay. I
So
guess
so
that is.
no, your audio is very good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, certainly better than stuff I'm used to because when my phone is kind of old, so when I'm talking on the phone, I can barely
Yeah.
hear the person I'm talking to.
Oh,
So yeah, that's
yeah.
that's so much better. And if
So the thing with this mic is ki you can't hear the echo. So when I'm on my bigger
mm,
mic, that is the webcam mic, you can hear the background noise, the wind noise. But with this mic, you can only hear it when I am close to the mic. If I
yeah,
do this, you can hear what I'm saying that clearly, right?
right,
But if I'm
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so it is clearer, but it is not as responsive. sensitive. It is not as sensitive, but the audio is crystal clear. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's very good. Um,
Hey, so let's talk about the actual stuff we were wanting to talk about.
okay.
Uh, yep. The I forgot the name of the author. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, we had like a list of topics to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me, what do you want to talk about? Do you remember
I'm
any
not
of them?
sure. Oh yeah. So there was this one author which you like, give and take one.
Give and take, yeah.
Client oriented psychology. Uh,
Uh,
Carl
well,
Roberts, right?
Carl Richard, fuck. Carl, Carl, Carl Richards is an engineer at one of our clients. I don't think I'm allowed to say the name. Uh,
Yeah. Okay,
uh,
hang on. I have the list on a different monitor. I'll quickly read through it.
okay.
That is way better.
Carl Rogers is the person I'm talking about. I hope. Yes, of
Yeah.
course it is Carl Rogers.
Hey, okay. So yeah, Carl Rogers. It is Carl. So I heard about Joe. Okay, so how do we start the podcast? That is my question. How do we start it?
How do we start it?
Yeah, I
The
mean,
podcast. Well, we've just started. What do you mean?
yeah, that would be pretty cool, right? We can just do a slide
Yeah,
in here.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. Cool. Great. Huh. So five factor personality model. Let's talk
Right.
about that first.
Okay. So, do you know what that is?
Yeah, I think I know what that is. That is the big five thingy, right?
Yeah.
So
So, for people listening to this, it sounds so strange. I'm not used to doing things publicly. But for people listening to this, it's a model of different types of personality that's um, the, it's the most widely used within psychology. So people will typically, whenever they do experiments, they will do it with reference to this model. And the way they came up with, do you know how they, so the way they came
no.
up with it, oh, you don't know the story?
Oh yeah, no, I don't. Yep.
Okay, so they basically, they took a bunch of people, they locked them, well, they like gathered them all together in a room. So let's say you have 1,000 people, and then they asked them to describe people they know
Oh.
with many phrases. So then you take like 5,000 phrases,
Huh.
and then you run like a you
Word
run
count thingy, word frequency
no no
counter.
no 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 no. So you run correlations between them.
Oh.
So so imagine you have a statement that says John is nice, and then you have another statement that says John is hardworking. So they ran all those pairs, and they checked whether they're correlated. So if I am likely to like if I just describe John as nice, am I more likely to describe him as hardworking?
Huh.
Right? So they ran those correlations for every combination they could find, right?
Yep.
And then you see some factors are not correlated at all.
Huh.
So some statements are not correlated, or they're like, well, I don't know the details. Like, I don't know the math. Like, I'm not the mathematician, but there are like, just like in physical space, you have dimensions, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, and then you can say 4 is
So there
time.
are positive correlations and negative correlations
Yes,
between the different traits.
yes,
So I just looked the personality traits up. So the five traits are openness
yeah,
and conscientiousness, extraversion,
yeah,
agreeableness, and neuroticism.
yeah,
So
exactly.
yes, exactly.
So
So
yeah,
go ahead.
sorry. So these are the factors that come up. So they're
Yep.
not like made up categories. These are the factors that if you do they're like dimensions in physical space. So imagine the space of human psyche has like 5 dimensions, which are, conscientiousness, extroversion, and so on. Right? And then
Yeah.
you measure it, right? So you come up with a questionnaire and you can measure it, like this person is, you know.
Hey, okay. So my question is, ki, how many people you know have taken these personality tests, big five personality tests, and what kind of people are more likely to take these personality tests, and does that have an impact on the personality test itself?
Yes.
So maybe that so is there a intrinsic what is the is there an intrinsic, I can't find the word which I'm looking for, oh my god,
um,
bias
Bias, yeah,
is,
okay.
yeah, are there intrinsic biases in the tests? I'll frame this question a little better. So is there a possibility that the people who are signing up to be studied
Yeah,
for these tests are actually more in openness,
yeah,
more in extroversion, and introverted people who are not likely to be part of
yeah,
scientific studies because they don't want to
yeah.
be? So if that
Yeah,
is the case, and if that is the case, is all our understanding of psychology biased?
yeah. It's a huge problem, right?
Yeah,
And there is no easy answer, right? As you said, because you said like, how I mean, the answer is take the group of people that's, take uniform groups of people,
mm,
take groups of
mm,
people that include everyone. But
mm,
like, how do you do it? Because like you said, like, if we wanted to do it, we would like put a LinkedIn post or a Facebook post that says,
yeah,
"Hi, we're looking for people to take part in this questionnaire." But
yeah.
then, as you said,
Extroverted people
yes,
will reply.
will be more likely. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, or people who are more open. You know, the point is like the point isn't the exact biases. The point is that biases exist,
yeah,
right?
I think so. And so Jordan Peterson was talking about, sorry about that, I'll do that again. So Jordan Peterson was talking about food studies and how it is extremely difficult to
Yeah,
get any valuable information out of those,
yeah,
because you can't control what people eat. That will be too very expensive
yes,
and impractical,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Or
So
studies on people, like they want to study people who, like, you can study people who drink alcohol, for example, because a lot of
yeah.
people drink alcohol and they don't do any other drugs.
Hmm.
But like if you want to study people who do MDMA or something like that, these people will typically do other drugs as well,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So yeah. So you will have the underlying bias and the side effects caused by the other drugs. So you can't do a fully controlled study
Yeah.
unless we legalize all of the drugs. No.
Well, even
Uh,
then,
no. Yeah.
yeah,
That was a wrong. Yeah. I don't think we can. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because
So
it's, yeah,
so
people
have
are,
you?
yeah, sorry,
Huh.
go ahead.
So I was watching this video by Vatasyam,
Uh-huh.
and he was talking about how all academic papers are. He was talking about how only the academic papers whose outcomes are positive,
Yeah.
or
It's like people in academia, researchers and stuff.
yeah. So
Yeah.
if I'm trying to prove ki I can bend spoons with my brain,
Yeah.
then I'm more likely to publish papers which
Yeah.
prove my hypothesis or which
Yes.
don't disprove my hypothesis. Ki I can bend spoons with my,
Exactly.
yeah. And so, so have you heard about the global consciousness project? Have you heard
No.
about that?
No. What is it?
Okay. So now I'm going to make myself sound like a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Conspiracy theorist?
Yes, exactly. In the first episode. Okay. So the Global Consciousness Project. Um, so they placed random number generators. So they made
Uh-huh.
an app to generate random numbers and placed and made thousands of people around the world install it. And
Uh-huh.
during earthquakes, during natural disasters or public uprisings and any kinds of calamities, the random number generated numbers which were uh, highly correlated.
Yeah.
So that means ki a phone here and a phone here.
Uh-huh.
would generate numbers which are similar or something
Uh-huh.
along those lines. So they basically they were seeing a pattern of correlations between
Well,
the social upheavals or things which disrupt the, they call it the collective
consciousness.
con- consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were seeing a pattern between those, and that is called the Global Consciousness Project.
Right.
I'll look it up, and you can, in the meanwhile. Yep.
Ways so they can see patterns in so-called true random number generators.
Yes, exactly. You framed it way better. Let me look for an image.
And those patterns are responding to global events.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So that was a so we can have a, but then again, if we have, I want to say we can have a photo of it here, but that would be way too difficult to produce, right?
Yeah, just like people are gonna look it up. The 5 people that are gonna be watching this.
Watching, yes, exactly, the 5 people, including us.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
my mom.
my mom as well. If we have 4 people, now I can get my dad to listen, and we have our five
Yeah,
audience of five. Yep. So
but
we will get hang of the, the framework of how to do this, because it is pretty difficult. I
yeah,
mean,
it
yeah,
yeah, like don't worry about it for now. We'll
yeah,
see how it turns out,
yeah,
right? Like,
yep, exactly.
if more people are watching, then we can kind of um, you know put more effort into it,
Yeah,
because like obviously I'm busy and you're busy, and but like we don't want to spend too much time on something that hasn't really started yet.
yep, yep.
Yeah, but going back to the global consciousness,
Mm, mm.
I don't think that's really that crazy. Like, I mean, it sounds crazy, but like if you
Yeah,
think about it, how you break cryptography, like there's people are finding patterns within so-called true random number generators all the time.
yeah, yeah.
So now the question is, like, so that's not the crazy part. The crazy part that these are
Mm,
responding to
mm.
global events.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, but now you think about it, and of course, like those patterns are influenced by everything, right? They're influenced by, like, how do so-called true random generators work?
We don't.
Well, I mean,
There are no true random generators, number
yeah, exactly.
generators.
Because there is no true randomness in
Yeah.
science. There is on the quantum level, but it's very
Mm,
difficult to kind of
mm.
translate it to the like human life.
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes any sense to anyone. Like, like physicists are probably thinking I'm crazy
Mm,
right now,
mm.
but like I'm not a scientist,
Yeah.
but I think there is something to it. Like, with my basic understanding of quantum
Yeah.
physics, it's very basic, but from what I understand,
Yeah.
it's random on the quantum level, but it's very difficult to pick a system that's larger and and uh, and not notice patterns which are not random.
Oh, huh, huh. But the patterns are not the problem. The correlation between the patterns is the problem,
The
right?
correlation between like global events, well, but like global events influence everything, right? Like, so let's say you
Oh,
hear,
huh. Yeah, that
right?
is a good reasoning, actually.
Yeah,
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 yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you hear something on the news, and I mean, like, the way we act right now, like even the way we speak, like it's all culture, like it's
mm,
all like what you see on the news. It's all, your upbringing, your education, right?
mm.
So it's responding to global events.
Okay, so a side question to that: are you religious? I mean,
Am I religious?
yeah, are you religious?
Um, in a sense, yeah. in a sense.
So you
Not
believe in a powerful entity, but not in a god.
see like if I say I'm religious, I think people are gonna take it the wrong way. I'm not really like people are gonna attribute views to me which I don't believe. Like I people are gonna
Mm.
think that I think the universe isn't physically closed, like that. Of course, all there is the laws of physics.
Yeah,
I'm not denying that,
yeah.
but God is more like a like mental illness, for example. So
Mm.
does mental illness exist?
It does.
Yeah, but like is mental illness a thing that like is it a physical thing or is it a concept? Like so, for example, like when people think of God, like if someone says I believe in God, people think that he means or she means that they believe in there's a guy on a cloud sitting and like talking to us and stuff.
Yeah.
And like mental illness, for example, it's not like
It's a metaphysical entity. Is that what we are
yeah,
getting at?
yeah, it's not a you're not gonna find a person called mental illness sitting somewhere, or you're not gonna find an object, like this table, you know,
Yeah.
uh, you
My
know,
main problem with religion and God is that there is just no need for God. I mean, why would you need it in a complete system where most of the things make sense? They do, right? Okay, so
yeah,
my assumption is ki we can explain most of the things and most of the things make sense. So
uh-huh.
if that assumption is true, then there is no need for God. But
Um,
yeah,
as long as there is no need for God, then there is no need for God, right? Like as long as you don't have to postulate God, I think that's fine. You don't have to believe in him or her or them.
mm,
Just as long as you don't have to postulate mental illness, you can get along, like you can get away with it.
oh yeah.
But the minute the concept of mental illness becomes useful, it becomes real. And
Hmm.
like the moment the concept of God becomes useful, it becomes real. So that's what I mean. You know what I mean?
Ha, yeah. I had never thought of it that way.
Yeah. So I'm saying like maybe God isn't real to you because you just don't have a use for God, and that's fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I'm very careful with assuming that because I don't need something, other people don't need it. So like there's a show right now in the UK called Love Island. Do you know Love Island?
No, I don't.
So
Okay.
it's a reality show about people living on a. I've never watched it, so I'm probably misrepresenting what this is, but it's a show
Yeah.
about people living on an island. It's like Big
Yeah.
Brother. Do you know Big Brother?
I know Big
Yeah.
Brother.
So I
Yeah.
think it's like Big Brother.
Huh.
They're just kind of like living together and like forming relationships and friendships and having sex and
I
parties.
only have problems with the toilets. I need good toilets. I'm fine with everything else, and I'm scared of bugs. Bugs and toilets are my Achilles heels.
Okay.
No, see, I'm serious. I mean, I'm not going to shit in a forest. I refuse to. That is where I draw the line. I mean, whew, that is scary. And public washrooms. Oh my god. Have you ever been?
In a
Uh-huh.
public washroom? What's
Yeah.
a public washroom? So like a
You don't
public
have
shop.
those in the UK?
I, we might. Are they like? Do you mean like public toilets
Yeah. Huh. Yeah,
or
exactly.
like
Yep.
public showers?
Oh, no. I mean like public toilets.
Oh, okay,
Those
yeah,
are
yeah. Of course we
I, yeah, so those might be cleaner where you are, but where I it
do.
is traumatic experience.
uh,
It is a traumatic experience going in one of those public washrooms.
every single
At
one of
least,
them.
huh? I have been in one of them, and it was so scary.
No, I mean like
I mean,
how many of them are dirty? Is it like
uh,
is it a common thing?
I would say 95% of them.
Oh, right. Okay.
So yeah, and there are few ones which are clean, but
Yeah.
those are clean because Okay. So I guess I'm exaggerating it a little. So in Navi Mumbai, those washrooms are clean because they have staff
Yes.
who are responsible for cleaning
Yeah.
them. So you have a guy sitting with a desk in front
Uh-huh.
of a public washroom, and
Right.
whenever someone goes in, you have to pay him 5 or 10 rupees. That would be
Yeah.
about 20 cents, US dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to pay that to him, and he's responsible for cleaning your mess.
Oh,
So you have
okay.
to flush. You have to flush, of course, but he's responsible for
Yeah.
if you make a big mess, he's
Yeah.
responsible for it. Yeah.
Uh,
So those ones are clean, but until about 5 years ago, the ones in the city where I live, those are horrible. We don't have a really active government or a
oh,
municipality, so yeah, it is pretty traumatic.
that sucks. You know,
Yeah,
when I remember when I was growing up in Poland, that
yeah.
was a big thing. Like some, toilets that you have to pay for, and there's like a lady or a guy in front of the toilet in the desk, and you pay
Mm,
them like 1 zloty.
yeah.
Uh, but I think that's gone away now. I think, yeah, because well, I mean, there's toilet inside restaurants,
Huh,
and
yeah.
those
Those are pretty clean. Yeah.
those are clean because people like it's kind of in the interest of the business to keep it clean. Like you don't want your business to be like, you don't want to people go like, oh, I'm not going to the event. Have you seen their toilet? you know, uh, but um,
But the food chains, you can always depend on the food chains to have good toilets. So you can go to any Domino's, KFC, McDonald's, and they will
right,
probably have a really good toilet.
yeah,
So that is what we do here sometimes. We just go in a KFC
yeah,
if you want to pee. So yeah.
same thing in Poland, except now other toilets are usually owned by. See, like there's no really public toilets owned by the city. They're all
Oh,
owned by some kind of commercial entity.
huh.
So like a shopping center. A
Mm,
shopping center it's not owned by the city. It's owned by some commercial entity. It's owned by a company.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's why they keep it clean because it's kind of in the interest of their business and they're making money also.
Mm, mm.
I've not seen any toilets owned by the government in a long, long time.
Oh,
Yeah,
huh. So do you guys have slums in Poland?
not really.
Where do the homeless people live?
Um, on the street. I mean, there aren't that many of them. Uh, there are
Oh,
some, there are some, but not that many of them. So
mm,
like you'll see pretty much the same as in the UK. So like you'll see a homeless person then and there, but like you won't see like huge slums of homeless people. It's not
oh.
happening.
Okay, I'm sorry to draw a correlation or a equality between slums and homelessness. People who live in slums are not homeless. I would
Yeah,
like to clear that up. So
yeah,
people who
definitely.
live in slums have a home, but some of them don't have
Yeah,
toilets in their homes.
right.
So that was what I was
Mm.
getting at.
Right. It's like trailer parks in America, kind of.
Yeah, I've never been, so
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, yeah. Full disclaimer. I've not been to either. Like I've never been to India. I've been to
Yeah,
America, but not to any trailer
trailer
parks.
park in.
But like
Yeah.
I thought trailer parks were really cheap, but they're
Hmm.
actually like because you have to have your own. You either have to have your own mobile home,
Trailer.
yeah, trailer, or you have to rent one. But even if you have your own, like the rent on it, like the rent on a trailer park in Los Angeles will be comparable to to rent on a cheap room in Poland,
Huh.
right?
Yeah.
Like a room with electricity
Yeah.
and I guess trailer parks have electricity, but you know what I mean. Like a
Yeah.
room,
Yeah.
like a nice room with central heating and everything.
Oh, heating is a big one, right? Yeah. We don't have heating. We have
Yeah,
cooling.
yeah,
We
yeah.
have air conditioning. Yeah.
Yes, because it's hot. Yeah,
Yeah. It's very
yeah.
hot.
That's why
I'm
they have
sweating right now. sweating right now, and I'm
You are
sitting in
really?
the AC. Yeah. It is always hot. I'm just waiting for the rains to come.
I would enjoy that. You know, yeah, I
No,
like.
you won't. No, you won't. I'm pretty sure you won't. You would just be red all the time.
Hmm. Well, I mean, like,
Maybe.
of would you rather be too cold?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I would rather be too cold. I mean, there are things you can do to, become hot or hotter. But if you are
Yeah.
hot, there is nothing for you to do to become cold. I'm
Well,
fr-
like when I get up and it's too cold because it's Scotland, so it's
yeah,
often too cold. I just don't feel like getting up. I just feel like staying at the in my bed,
yeah,
and like I don't want to take a shower, so it takes me like 5 hours to get up and start doing things.
yeah.
It's just
Huh,
not good for my productivity. It's just not good for my focus.
huh. Yeah, maybe. But I would rather be too cold than too hot. So it
Okay.
is one of those questions. Would you
Yeah.
fight a pig? I meant a duck-sized horse or a horse-sized duck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know those. Yeah, it's one of
Uh,
those.
a horse-sized duck.
Yeah. So would you rather
Wow.
fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Uh,
Oh, okay. Uh, yeah, yeah, I see
Yeah.
what you mean. But you know what? Like you, in that case, you might want to consider moving somewhere else.
Yeah, if I can afford it.
You, well, you can start small. You know
Huh.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can start.
Okay. So on that note, I think people should uh, live in with their parents for as long
Uh,
as they can afford. So
right?
I think midway into their 25s or 26, 27s, you should probably live with your parents and save up hard. You save up
Yeah,
all of that money
yeah,
and you can retire early. I mean, I don't understand why people need their own place. I mean, someone might say independence, but
yeah,
there are more important things
yeah,
which you might need to do to become independent. You can become independent while you are living with your parents. You can pay
yeah,
them rent, and it will be still way cheaper than getting your own place. And
yeah.
I don't understand why people need to get their own place. If they are wanting to live in the same place where their parents live, they can
Uh
just
huh.
live in with their parents. I don't see a practical need for that. What do you think?
Well, I think it, like I said, I think it depends on the person, right?
Huh.
So, like I would say, if you want to live with your parents and you don't really see a need to not live with your parents and you're having a good relationship with them and there's nothing that you can learn by living at your
Alone.
yeah
Yeah.
alone. I would say just stay with your parents. Really depends on the
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. My parents are actually just great. I just steamroll over them all the time. And so yeah, yeah, I did not take that
Good
into
for you.
consideration.
Good for you.
Yeah,
uh, but I would say for a lot of people it's a huge
problem.
no, I mean, it's not even a problem. It's just it's just beneficial to them if they move out. They learn more responsibility. Suddenly they have to take care of the bills. They have to take care of the rent, and it teaches you responsibility.
Yeah,
That's
I
one
mean,
thing.
yeah, it is. I think you spend too much time on those tertiary tasks. So if
Yeah,
you are like actually intelligent, for lack of a better term,
yeah,
then you can probably pay your bills. It is not that difficult. But the time which you might save would be way higher.
yeah.
I mean, oh, okay. So let me tell you about maids.
Uh huh.
Maids. So in India, almost every household has a maid who does your dishes, who does your, the
Really?
floor. Yeah. So we have
Mm,
two maids. So we have one for
mm,
cooking and one for cleaning our utensils and the
right.
floors. So, so that is a great advantage. I mean,
Yeah.
my mom practically does not have to do much because we have a maid.
Yeah.
So
Good for her. Yeah. More time for
they take.
useful stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think most of the people. Okay, so hmm, I think that time would be just way greater value. They would get greater value for that time if they invested it in themselves rather than
Yeah.
doing the dishes, because doing the dishes is pretty simple.
Yeah.
So
Well, really, it depends on the person. I used to work at a takeaway for like 3 months. The like the worst job ever.
yeah.
Minimum wage, simple, and I have to tell you, I learned more during that time that I learned during my first 3 months as a software engineer.
Learned about, what did you
Well,
learn about?
everything, being fast, being on time, being disciplined, having to
Yeah.
get up and be on this time, being assertive because your managers will treat you like a dog sometimes.
Oh.
I was working for the lady who owned the shop. She would always show up 1 hour late for the job interview
Hmm.
on
Okay.
purpose.
Oh, power move.
Yeah, exactly. So the only people who actually took the job were the kind of people who had no self-esteem and no respect for themselves, and you could just walk over them, right? But
Yeah.
if you're that kind of person, that's an opportunity for you to learn,
Yeah.
right? Learn to
Totally.
be assertive. There's a lot of things that I think people just don't realize how much you can learn anywhere you go, anywhere, doing anything,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
right? So as for saving up, sure. I was actually a big fan of saving up. I used to save up like 70% of my income.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just wanted to like save up, save up, save up. Have 10,000, 100,000, a million, and then just retire.
Yeah.
But what I found is life is just so much more interesting when you let yourself.
Oh, yeah. So I was saying ki saving up on the rent, not cheaping
Oh,
out and decreasing the amount of experiences you can have. I think
yeah,
you should spend some money.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you can save up on the rent, that's a great thing. If you can
Huh,
save up on
yeah.
anything, that's a great thing. But sometimes it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I managed to get cheap housing because I always live in flat shares.
Oh,
So that's a great thing because,
huh.
yeah.
Hey, can you punch through your wall?
Hmm?
Can you punch through your wall?
Can I
Are
punch
your
through my wall?
are your walls made up of I don't know, cardboard?
No.
Are they bricks?
Uh, I guess. I don't know. Why do you
No.
ask?
So our walls in India are all made up of bricks. We
Uh-huh.
don't have, you know, the cardboard houses
Yeah.
that Americans have. So I was wondering ki how what kind of
Americans
house
have
you.
Americans have cardboard houses.
I don't know. I mean, I have seen videos where they punch through their houses, right? So you have a
Well,
guy, he goes through his house. How does that happen? I mean,
uh, I don't know. I've
so
not seen those videos.
I think Americans live in cardboard houses. I'm not
Wow.
sure.
That
I mean,
maybe like I don't know, like I don't know, maybe some states don't have strong building regulations.
okay, so it might not be cardboard. I think it is. I don't know what it is. So
I would be surprised if it was actual cardboard. But when I went to school, like middle school, I think we were like 14. One
yeah,
guy, I think he took a spoon and literally just like was making holes in the wall with his spoon. Like that was his hobby.
jailbreak,
What?
jailbreak. He was trying to break
Yeah.
out of the school.
Well, I mean, I knew a guy that literally walked up to the teacher with a knife and
Yeah.
said, "Are you afraid?"
Okay.
the
What did the
guy,
teacher say?
I'm gonna change the name, but let's say the guy's name was I don't know. Like, what's the most generic name? Like he's
John,
yeah,
Joe.
John Smith. John Smith.
Oh, yeah,
So
John
the
Smith.
yeah, so the kid walks up to the teacher's desk and says, "Hi, Mr. Smith. Are you scared? with a knife.
Yeah. And what did the teacher say?
I don't know. That part just isn't part of the gossip. I
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
there. I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
Oh,
It was
okay.
just a story passed around. And maybe it was exaggerated. You know how it is in middle
Yeah, I
school.
had. Oh, yeah, yeah. So, hey, I read about Joe Joe Rogan's Spotify deal, the hundred
Yeah.
million dollar one. Yeah. Uh,
Is it really a
uh,
100 million?
I think it is,
Wow.
but but when you look at that number at a glance, it is impressive. But then you realize that Joe Rogan is probably making about 150,000 to $100,000 per episode, and
Is he?
he's making about 3 to 5 million a month, and
Is he?
his net worth
Wow.
is 25 million. I think so. So if you take
Wait.
into consideration, yeah,
His net worth is 25,
yeah, I think so. I looked it up a few
and
days ago.
he
Yeah,
just got a $100 million deal.
yeah,
So he's literally worth like 5 times or 6 times more now.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Oh, okay. So Joe Rogan's net worth is roughly 50 million.
Wow.
So yeah, he's pretty rich. He's pretty loaded.
Wow.
So when you take that into consideration, his net worth is 50 million. So 100 million is just what he might make in about 2 to 4 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, huh, okay, that makes sense. It is not too out of the world.
It makes sense, but it makes you realize how big the podcast is.
How big a successful podcast,
Yeah.
how big the world's successful podcast is.
Is he the world's most biggest podcast?
Yes.
Really? Wow. That's cool.
So I think he's up there with Serial by. Um, he's up there with Serial, Joe Rogan, and I think Criminal is one of. I'm not sure about Criminal though, but I think Serial and Joe Rogan's podcasts are one of the top podcasts in the,
Wow.
yeah, top charts.
Okay. That's uh that's interesting.
But the thing is, ki it is difficult. It is the market is really concentrated.
Yeah.
There are say 100 podcasters, and they have all of the audience.
Yeah.
So
Well, but that's the case. Do you realize that's the case with everything?
I think it is a little better with YouTube.
Right.
There are more number of YouTubers,
Yeah. Why
and
is
then there
that?
are.
Is it why is that? Is it because it's just more popular to get on YouTube?
Yeah.
You know, like why are there many Instagram influencers? Like you know what I mean? Like it seems there are fewer YouTubers than Instagram influencers, and then even fewer podcasters.
So Instagram influencer is something which you can become. You can become an
Yeah,
influencer too,
yeah,
because this is the guy you used to go to high school with. Now look where he is.
right. But
But with,
you can become
yeah,
a famous podcaster.
no one listens to podcasts. Okay, okay. I mean, no one I know listens to podcasts. I don't know if it is not big in India yet, but I don't know. Do you know people who listen to podcasts regularly?
Not
I
many.
know about 10 people. I know about 10 people who listen to podcasts.
Yeah, but like see, they're like people in like people I like listen to podcasts. So I think
Oh,
that you know what I mean? Like that's an advantage because like in business you have to look for underserved areas.
yeah. And
In
Spotify did just that. Yep.
with podcasts,
Yeah, Spotify took over the mm, Gimlet Media. It was a podcasting company. It made a
right?
podcast producing company, and Spotify invested about 100 million or two
Yeah,
hundred million into Gimlet Media. Then they bought Anchor for I think it around 75 to 150 million, and they bought another company, Spotify. So Spotify is now heavily invested in podcasting, and they just bought this Joe
yeah.
Rogan. So I think it would be about 500 million in podcasts, and
Hmm.
if you add people on top of it, I would say 1 or 2 billion.
Yeah.
So maybe those are correct numbers.
So do you think podcasting is now going to become bigger because of that? Because Spotify is investing in it?
I think the market was not optimized correctly. So everyone was doing podcasts, but no one was doing it correctly. They were doing
Mm.
podcast advertisements, but those advertisements were not personalized like YouTube's advertisements are. So that left out a huge room for optimization. And now Spotify can take care of it and optimize what was not optimized. So podcasts
Mm.
were primarily free, right? So why are they free? Why did Apple do that? I mean, Apple could have monetized the iTunes
Yeah.
podcasting thing better, right? They just left it open. So
Right.
I think the audience might stay the same, but they will manage to squeeze more out of the existing audience.
See,
Hmm.
honestly, I think that's a bad business model because I think if you're trying to squeeze, like, I'm always about the long term and the growth.
Hmm.
And I feel like if you try to squeeze something out of, I think if you try to do something like that, your client base becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. What you
Hmm.
want to do instead is you actually want to build it up. So what I would do if I was Spotify, I would try to make the audience as big as possible, right?
Yeah, but that would work if there was already a system in place which was monetizing things correctly. Right now, there is not a really good system which monetizes
Yeah,
things for podcasting. So every podcaster has his own
yeah,
sponsor, right? So there were no big players in the podcasting industry.
yeah,
So if you would have had bigger players, then what you said right now would be applicable there. But
yeah,
if you have a system where it is not monetized uh, to the extent it can be monetized, then
yeah,
it is okay for you to chop off the people which are never going to pay and which have never paid. So it is okay if you chop them off, right? Because they were not
yeah,
providing any value. So even with a smaller audience for podcasting, let's say about 100 million people listen to podcasts,
yeah.
and even if you take 20 million people of that 100 million, you would still
Mhm.
have a big enough audience for you to monetize them, and that is still a pretty large sum of money. I think that might be the
Well, yes, but then I think that's a valid strategy, and I think they're gonna make a lot of money on it. And if you, but I think the revenue shouldn't be the goal. I think the impact should be the goal.
why. I mean, that is the promise they made to the shareholders, right? We will do everything in our power to give you your money.
I mean, sure. Like, I'm not criticizing them. I'm just saying, impact is much more fun than serving shareholders. And then it
Yeah,
actually does serve shareholders.
yeah, in the longer
It,
term.
in the long
Yeah.
term, impact generates money. So that's why I'm so
Long-
crazy about the book, Give and Take.
oh yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
makes
To everyone listening right now, this is the best book you want to check out. Like, if you're gonna get one thing out of this podcast, go to amazon.co.uk and we're gonna put this in the description.
sponsored link. Yeah, we'll have a sponsored link and we'll get a penny out of it.
Yeah, don't have a sponsor yet, but go check that book out. Audible.com. I'm sure they have an audiobook, or if you want a printable like a paperback version. Amazon, Amazon.com or Amazon.co.uk, wherever you are.
Stop talking
Amazon.de.
about it. Why are you talking? Why are you talking about links?
I'm talking about
That
links. I want people to
that
find the book.
that is the most inefficient use of podcasting you could do. Trying to
Yeah,
tell people a link through an audio.
yeah.
Oh,
Wasting all that audio space.
yeah.
But we still have a lot of time. So once more, Amazon.co.uk or Amazon.com or Amazon.de. Go there. Give and Take is the name of the book. Buy it.
Yeah. that was a good bit. So we can note down the time which we were at, and I think we can take out the Joe Rogan part, right? It was a good one according to me,
Wait,
and
so
we can use.
why are we taking the Joe Rogan part
Oh,
out?
what do you what do we want to keep? I mean, for the podcast, what do we want to keep?
Everything. So
Oh,
how long have we been going on for?
let me. I don't know. I can't see anything. Can you see anything?
Uh,
I think about an hour. But yeah, about an hour.
about an hour. Let me see
Yeah.
if it says that's the most like that's the thing you want to have. You want to know how long have we been going on for. Let's see.
Okay. Hang on. You sent me the link at
Yeah.
16:50. So that is about, yeah, we are a little over an hour. An 1 hour and 15 minutes. 20 minutes. 1 hour and
An hour.
20 minutes.
Cool. So even if we
Yeah.
cut stuff out, I think we still have at least an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At least an hour. But,
So
but but that's the problem. It is really difficult to edit audio because you can't seek it. I mean, you can't see audio,
yeah.
right? You don't have a script, so you have to sit there and listen through everything. So that is the reason it is difficult to edit
Okay.
audio.
Well, I mean,
Um,
do you have do you have any parts you want to cut out? Like any parts specifically?
that is another problem as well. Like, we don't know what is useful or what is relevant. I mean,
Everything is
we can
useful. Everything is
everything.
useful.
Okay,
So I would
I
just
guess cut out the first part about smart cow because it's yeah.
you don't want to keep it. It's great promotion.
But I don't think I was explaining it clearly enough, or
No, no one cares. No one cares. Like
yeah. Oh,
it sounded cool.
yeah.
Um, just make sure you didn't say anything confidential. But
I'm pretty sure I did. So
okay, cool.
yeah.
So in that case, I would say it's great promotion,
Okay.
and we should
Okay.
keep it. Maybe we're gonna cut out the part where we talk about what we should cut out, like that part. We might cut that out because it's
This
just,
part.
huh?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just boring.
Yeah. It is pretty boring. Yeah.
But other than that, so, uh, well, I mean, I guess we can wrap it up.
Yeah. We can. I mean, yeah, we can. So okay. So let's have a f- outline of the episode. What happened here, or what will be named the title? We can't
Yeah.
have it be.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna just to wrap it up because we might cut out that last part, but I just want to wrap it up. So,
Yep.
yeah. So just to wrap it up, can you tell me to learn about Smart Guy? Where do people go? Is there a social handle?
I don't know, smartcow.ai. You just search on yeah, just go to smartcow.ai.
Smartcow.ai, and you're
Yeah.
on LinkedIn as well.
Yep, we are everywhere. We are on
Okay,
LinkedIn,
cool.
Twitter,
You're on Twitter.
probably Facebook.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So if anyone wants to check this out, check their products, check their security products. Smartcow.ai. Go there
Yep.
and check out the product.
Yep.
And yeah, that's it. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Oh.
See, got it.